it will not take much time. And then if time permits and all okay, we can move to the next thing. Okay. And hopefully before next session, today itself, I was planning to give you the SAP access. Okay. But the vendor from whom we are getting it, he told me he has mailed me. Okay. But yet I have not received it. So there is some communication going on. So before next session, surely you will get SAP access. Okay. The documents were already shared on this particular WhatsApp, and for Raja, I've sent you on mail also the documents. The third thing is yeah, yeah. The third thing is to access this. So I'll make some changes in this, and before next session, we'll do this also. I'll just ping you on WhatsApp that please log in. Okay, because right now it is $360 paid to this. Okay, so I'll make some changes so that you three can log in into it, and then you'll be having the access to this. Okay. Okay, fine. So we came up to purchase requisition, like why it is required, or who is creating it, and how does that work. Okay. So hope Atul, you have went through the video, right? No problem. No problem. No problem. Yeah. Basically, the purchase requisition is not directly related with the next topics. Okay. So after this session, you can go through the previous session. Okay, that is totally an individual session. So you can go through that. And in that, we also have the enterprise structure. Okay, so that is also separate topic itself. So there is nothing like if you have not went through that. Yeah, not connected. Okay. So today we will go through the purchase request for quotation. Okay. So basically, what is request for quotation? So whenever any requirement comes, okay, in our company, and now we want to procure it. So while procurement, the first thing is we need to approach to vendor. Okay, we means who? The purchaser, the purchasing team. So one of the guy within that team, what he will do, he will search on Google like who is providing the same part or the item which is required, and then he will ask, he will select two three, okay, maybe by ratings or anything as per his analysis, and once he selects them, he will send them the request for quotation. So request for quotation is like I'm requesting a vendor for quotation. Okay, so he will send a request for quotation. Now, if he is sending it to three different vendors, okay, so what this will contain? This will contain the item, the specification of that item. Suppose I want laptop. So what is the specification of that laptop? 12 GB, 1 TB, graphic card, 512, like this, all details. He will be sending it to the all three vendors, and then he will get the quotations from them. So in this quotations while they are giving, so what are the major main parameters? Is like when it will be delivered. This will be one item. Okay. Then what are the payment terms? Like I will deliver it to you, suppose on 10th. So when I want the payment, okay, or you are a vendor. So when you want the payment, okay, all of these terms and conditions will be mentioned in that. So all three will have different conditions. Now, basically, before we used to have different taxation within India. Okay, but now when GST is there, so we don't have different taxation. But one thing comes in between is like someone is providing nearby like 2 kilometers from my place, and someone is providing from 12 kilometers, and the third is providing me from 100 kilometers. So the charges, the freight charges, the delivery charges will be different for everyone. So for me, the costing will be different. Okay, so I will be considering this parameter. Now, first of all, they will give me all three vendors will give me the quotation, and then I have to select one out of them. So, considering the delivery date, when I want and when he is providing, considering the amount of that particular item, then if there is on any additional charges, any one of them is charging like freight, okay, or delivery charge. This is then payment term. In case someone would say, I want immediate payment. Okay. Someone would say, I want 30 days payment. Someone would say 90 days is also fine. So considering all the parameters, I'll be selecting from whom I should buy. Okay. So after selecting them, then with reference to this particular RFQ or quotation, so first I send the RFQ, I receive the quotation, I have entered that in my system. So after entering, I'm selecting one vendor out of that. So once the vendor is selected, now what I will do, I will create a purchase order with respect to this quotation. Okay. So any query till here? Mhm. It, yeah, it is totally a business decision. Okay. We cannot say which one is the first. Why? The reason is suppose the one vendor is telling me uh, the guy who is 100 kilometers far from me, that vendor is telling me, you give me 30 days payment term, no problem. I'll deliver you tomorrow. Okay. And one vendor is saying me, I'll deliver you after 7 days, and I'm okay with 90 days. Now, the parameter, the priority will change as per your requirement. Suppose you want the laptop tomorrow. What you will consider? Okay, he's telling me 30 days, no problem, I can give him in 30 days, but I want the laptop tomorrow. Now your priority is tomorrow's date. Okay, yeah. Sometimes it may happen you don't need it tomorrow. You're planning it after for next quarter. Okay. Now in this case, yes, scenario. Yeah, need scenario. Okay. All depends on this. Okay. Some cases you want it tomorrow, he's saying there will be additional freight charges or a delivery charge. What you will say, no problem, I'll pay, but I want it tomorrow. So it is scenario based. What will be the priority or which is to be selected? Okay. Anything, both of you? Abhijit, Raja. Okay. So now the next subject is purchase order. Okay. So for now, we are just going through the concepts and a little bit maybe if you asked and what I'm telling, scenario based. Okay. Once we start the next line of items, here we have all SAP, SAP GUI, Fury, everything. Okay. So now here we have purchase request for quotation is done. Now purchase order. What happens in purchase order? Basically, purchase order is a first legal document, okay, in the whole process. So when you give a purchase order to someone, then now you are legally bound to buy that material. Okay. So if you give a purchase order and then after 10 days, if you say, okay, actually I don't want that material. So now you cannot back out. Okay. But there is option like you can have a mutual understanding with vendor. Okay. And then you can cancel the order. This can happen. But if vendor is saying no, because you asked me, you have given me purchase order. I bought something for you. I bought raw material for you. Now, if you don't buy, so I am in loss. Okay. In that case, what vendor will say, I cannot cancel. Now you have to take it. Okay. So you have to take it. Okay. So this will be a legal bounding. If I'm giving a purchase order, it is a legal bounding to me that I have to buy that material. I don't have any option. Okay. Or rather mutual understanding. So now this purchase order, like I told you, it is created with reference to the quotation RFQ. Okay. And it can also be created with reference to purchase order, purchase requisition. Okay. So there are two ways of doing it. Either from purchase order, you can create RFQ, and then from RFQ, you can create purchase order with reference. The other is with purchase requisition directly you can create purchase order. Okay, both the ways you have. So here the purchase order has the like important thing which is it's a legal document, and then here you mention from which vendor you are buying. Okay, and individually if you don't have purchase requisition RFQ, no problem, directly also you can create purchase order. Here what you are doing is you are entering the vendor, okay, then the material which you want to buy, and after that you are entering the quantity and the conditions. Conditions is I would say like if there is any freight, okay, then if there are any taxes, okay, then if there is any insurance involved which I have to pay, okay, all of these things I will mention in purchase order. So now purchase order is a document where you have all actual prices, the material price, okay, and then all overheads or delivery cost on that, like freight, insurance, loading, uploading. Suppose I want to load someone, like where I'm receiving the material, he has to load the material, and then when it comes to my place, I have to unload the material. So while unloading, I need three people or five people, so I have to pay the charge for them. So these charges also I can accommodate in purchase order. Okay. So purchase order will have all actual values. Okay. Yeah, and taxes. Okay. That's it for purchase order. Any query in purchase order? So the purchase order can be for your, there are different process. Okay. It is domestic process, import process, service procurement, subcontracting procurement. So all of these, the procurement, wherever you can see the procurement, the purchase order is involved in. Okay. What are these process? So it's there in our next subject. So we'll go there one by one. Okay. Then we'll come to goods receipt. Goods receipt is like whenever you are giving a purchase order to a supplier or to a vendor. So what you have mentioned in the purchase order is, I want the delivery on this date. Okay, so he will be providing you the material on that particular date. So when you receive the material at your end, okay, so while receiving the material, you have to make the entry in system. Okay, one is in system and you have to receive, like it will come, the truck will come to your gate, then you have to receive the material. While receiving, what happens actually is like the person who is sitting on the gate, he will be doing the gate entry. So you'll be writing the vehicle number, the person's name, any ID. Then what additional thing they can do? They will make, they will do the weight, okay, of that particular truck, and then uh, they will get the material inside. Then they will unload the material. They'll count the material. Okay. So suppose the vendor is saying I've provided you 100 quantity. So when you receive the material, you have to check whether it is 100 or not. Okay. It is 99, so the your good receipt will be for 99. So one, there is a deficit. So you have to inform your vendor there was one material missing or less in total what you have sent. Then there is a process to like do the accounting for that. So then when we receive the material, while receiving, there can be a possibility that it will go for quality inspection. Okay. So when you receive, it will go directly in system or physically also in quality section. Suppose you are working in a pharmaceutical company, you have procured a chemical. Okay. So while the chemical comes in, now you want to check whether it is stabilized. Okay, maybe chemicals have a reaction when it goes to high temperature or low temperature, or when it comes in contact with oxygen. Okay, all of these things. So now what happens is you have to check whether what I have received is okay. I can use it, or it is to my quality, okay, what I want. Then you have to, it will go directly to quality inspection. So in quality inspection, the quality will be done. Maybe it may take 1 hour, 2 hour, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. Okay. Whatever is the period, the material cannot be used. So it will be in quality inspection. Once the quality inspection is done, the material comes to unrestricted, means usable. So now people can just, or production people can like issue, like ask, they can reserve the material or they can ask for the store to issue them and they can use the material. Okay. So once the goods receipt is done, it may happen that the material is subject to quality. Once the quality is done, so the material will be shifted to the store and it will be kept in the store. Okay. So this is the whole thing about goods receipt. Now this is about goods. Okay. There is one more thing which is services. Okay. In case of services, we create a service purchase order, slightly few different fields, and then we receive that. While receiving, we don't do goods receipt because service is not goods. We do service entry sheet. Okay. Service entry sheet is to, when suppose I want to clean my centralized AC and I'm calling some vendor and they will come every quarterly they will come for cleaning. So when they will come and they will do the servicing, and while going, what they will do, they will give us an invoice that we came for this visit, we have done all things, and this is our invoice, you have to pay us. So that time, what we will do, we will do service entry sheet. It is same as goods receipt, like we are receiving it. But as it is a service, we cannot call it as goods receipt. So services, when we receive the services, we do service entry sheet. We just mark or we just post in the system that we have received this service for this quarter, and we make it a service entry sheet. That's it. Both are at the same concept, just one is goods, one is service. We are receiving it. Okay. So any query till here? Sure. Tell me. No. See, MM consultant will never go in the factory to do anything. We are, as a consultant, here to design the system. Okay. So if I'm working in IT company. Okay. And I'm going to some client and I'm telling them, okay, now how is goods receipt, how is service entry sheet. I will never go to their plant. Okay, I will go to visit, but I'll not go and work there. I will train them that what is goods receipt, how to do it. Okay, all of these things, and that store guys will do that. Okay, so I am. Yes, yes. Explaining is one part. Okay. Designing is the first part. First, we have to like configure the system as per their requirement. And when later on we go live, at that time we have to, before go live we have to train them. Okay. And after go live, they will be making mistakes. So they will call you. Okay, we have this problem. There is a error showing. Then you have to go and see what wrong things he has done in his system. Okay. So what is quality, what is material, how it looks, you don't know anything about it. You are only with the system. Okay. But while explaining, you have to explain all scenarios to him like this. Okay. So what we are discussing right now is all end user process, all end user transactions. We are nothing discussing about MM consultant right now. Few parts like we have to train them. This is MM consultant. Okay. So while you are learning SAP MM, first you need to understand what end user is doing. Okay. Then what is their transaction and then configuration. So all things come under consultant only. Okay. Any question? Okay. I'll move ahead. So now we have invoice verification. So what is invoice verification? So whenever you receive material, okay. So with material, there will be two documents, or there can be two documents what you will receive. One is delivery challan, and the second is invoice. Okay. So delivery challan is something while the vendor is sending a material from his place to my place. There is 10 kilometers distance. So when someone will stop your vehicle, so someone means the government people, police, RTO or anyone. So they are more into this, like where is this material going? Does it have proper papers? Okay, that it is going from this place to this place, and what is there inside that particular truck, or what is the material. So there is a documentation for this. So that is called delivery challan. Deliveries, there is a document which will be valid or useful while I'm delivering the material to the destination. And invoice. Invoice is totally a financial document. Okay, invoice has the invoice number, then it will have the material name, the quantity, the payment what the customer has to do to the vendor, and the tax on this, all of these details. So now if suppose invoice has a value of 1,15,000, okay, and it is coming to me, I'm buying the material. So I have to pay as per invoice, 1,15,000, no less or no more than this. Okay. So invoice is a financial document, and referring to that document, I have to make the payment. Okay. So when I receive the invoice, basically when I do the goods receipt, at that time with the goods receipt or with the goods, they will send delivery challan and invoice both. Okay. So this invoice, once the goods are received, this invoice will go to the finance department in the company. Okay. So vendor has sent this invoice. So when it goes to finance department, so the clerk or the people who are working there, what they will do, they will see what is the purchase order. They will enter the purchase order in the system, and then they will see, okay, how much we have received. So they will change the quantity to the received quantity. Okay. And they will see what tax. Okay, tax. It is there already. It is coming from the PO. Okay. When I enter the PO in the system, PO will bring everything in my invoice. Okay. And then I will just verify the document which is forwarded by my vendor and what my system is saying. Anywhere I see there is a difference in value. Suppose invoice is saying for one item 56,300, and my system is saying 56,290. I'll make the changes in my system and make it 300. Okay, and then I will post the invoice. So once the invoice is posted, now there is one more point in this, which is the payment terms. So payment terms is something like immediate, means uh, when I will receive the invoice, at the same time I have to make the payment. This can be one payment term. The payment term can be 30 days, means the from the invoice date, within 30 days I have to pay my vendor. Okay. So if I book the invoice today, which has payment term as 30, so next 30 days I don't need to pay him. But at the last day I have to pay the 30th day. I can pay any time in between these 30 days. It can be 20 days, 21 days, 29 days, but maximum 30 days. This will be my payment term with my vendor. Okay. So I have to pay within 30 days. So this is about invoice booking in my system and making the payment to the vendor. So till invoice booking, it's under MM. Okay. Now after 30 days, when the payment is done, that is with finance module, SAP FI. Okay. So they have the transaction and they will make the payment to the bank with that transaction. Okay. Any query till here? Okay. So, what we will do now, we will start for the next subject, okay, from here. But before starting this, I will just let you know a few things. I think we have gone through that already, okay. Okay, so this is our SAP logon. I will just double click on it, and this is my connection. Okay, so we have went through this, like how to create this connection. We have to just go here, connection, and then we have to go to next. Then these are the details which your basis HAP basis guy or IT team will provide: description, system ID, instance, string, server. Okay, once we enter this and we click on finish, that's it, it is done. If you want to see, you can see here, these are the details. Okay, so now this is a connection. So when we double click on it, system will ask us for user ID, password, enter. Now here we on this is our I would say entry screen. Okay, so here what we have is one is favorite and second is menu. So whenever you want to find something, okay, and you don't remember the T code, we enter the T code here. Okay, suppose for purchase requisition it is ME51N. Enter it here. So once I enter here, this is the purchase requisition, create purchase requisition screen. So here now, if I want to, I don't remember the transaction. So I just need to remember, or it is more logical that it comes into logistics, okay, the MM part, then materials management, which is MM, then purchasing, then purchase requisition, and then create. I can just double click here. So again, I'll go to the same transaction. If you want to see the transaction, you can just come here. Okay, see ME51N, the same transaction. You can make it visible here also. Okay. So from here, see, this is for create, this is for change, this is for display. Okay. So I can just double click here and I can go to that particular transaction, or I can enter transaction. We call it as transaction or T code, anything. So this will be my purchase requisition screen. So any query till here, I think we have covered this one or two times before, like how to add favorites. I'll just go here, click right click, add to favorite, and then it will be added here. So if I want to change the description, I'll just go and change favorite, and I can change the description like this. Any query or any doubt till here? You'll you will get access by tomorrow. I will try morning, okay, but by tomorrow afternoon you'll be getting the access, and also like how to access it, that also you'll get it. Everything you will get. You don't need to create anything. You will just you will come to this screen, okay. Yeah, you'll come to the screen, you'll double click. You have to double click here. It will take you to the screen. You have to double click here, and then you have to enter your ID password. That's it. Then you will come to the screen. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here now next thing what we have is create purchase requisition. Okay. So how do we create a purchase requisition? So basically the transactions for that are ME51N create purchase requisition, ME52N change purchase requisition, ME53N display purchase requisition. And this is the path to go there. What is mean by path is what I was doing here. Logistic, material, purchasing, purchase requisition, this path. Okay. So anywhere if you go in SAP, all most of the like 90 to 95% of transactions, ME, whatever is the number, 51, 21, okay, 31. So it will be for create, okay. Then the two will be for change and the three will be for display. So 51 is for purchase requisition, ME51 creation, ME52 change purchase requisition, ME53 display purchase requisition. If you go to purchase order, if you go to purchase order, ME21 create purchase order, ME22 change purchase order, ME23, okay, it is display. Sorry, this is wrong. It's display purchase order, okay, like this. So it is the it is with the number 1, 2, 3, okay. And suppose if you go here, so ME41 is for RF creation, 42 change, 43 display, like this. Okay. So this is the way like you can if you memorize one, that is enough. Okay. And if you don't memorize or it is not in your mind, you can just follow the path. So very good way. Okay. Now we will go to ME51N. I'll go to ME51N. This is purchase requisition. In purchase requisition, I'll just hide this. Okay. In purchase requisition, the main things what we have is four things. Four things are the main thing. The first is the document type. So this is the document type. Okay. So I will let you know what is document type. But first we'll understand this. This is the header. This is item overview and this is item. Okay. So we'll go one by one. So what is document type? Document type is Suppose I have different type of purchase requisitions. Okay. So purchase requisition basically, as I told you, purchase requisition, anyone from any department, he will raise a purchase requisition. If he wants something, he will go in the system and he will create a purchase requisition. So now this activity, what we are learning, is done by a end user. Okay. So while creating a purchase requisition, first thing he will do, he will select here. So what he will select? So these are standard, which doesn't have Z in the beginning. Okay. Some of them are not standard. Okay. But NB is a standard for our understanding. NB. NB. What is mean by standard? Standard means SAP itself has provided us this document type. Okay. And you can see here Z001 or Z004. This is something which a consultant like me and you, we have created this in the system. So Z004, if now here I've written service PR. So I can differentiate the PR with document type. Okay. So what can be the differentiation? So for that, what we will do is we will go to the implementation and KDS doc. Okay. In KDS document, now this is some requirement which we have to take from the client. Okay. So purchase info record, purchase requisition. I'll just click on here. Okay. How this will take us there. Okay. This is page number 13. Okay. Now you can see here purchase requisition. Okay. And these are the document types for that. Now these are different plans. 1 to 1100, 1200, 13, 1400. So if I have a purchase requisition, which is a regular or I would say service, okay. So service is it should be like usually we use ZRSR, okay. The first digit will be Z usually, okay. It's a whenever we are creating something in the system, we have to start it with Z. So ZRSR. So this is service PR. Okay. And if you see normal goods PR, which I've written as regular PR, so it is ZRPR. So it's a 4 character, okay, here document type. So I can use it 1 character, 2 character, 3 character, or 4 character. Now this is 2 character, this is 3 character, this is 4 characters. Okay. And here you can see it's a description for that document type. So now uh, we don't touch the standard, whatever is standard which SAP has provided. We create our new. Okay. If you want to change something in the standard, we don't change there. Rather, we copy NB, and then we make the changes in the configuration. So, what is the configuration? How it is done? What changes are required? All of these things we are going to learn later on. Okay. Just what we have to understand is why, what is document type and why it is needed. So why and what are relative questions. So here we have service PR. So when I select this, so what happens is, okay, two things will happen with different document types. Now I can make some changes with respect to this document. Like when I select Z004, this particular field should be non-editable. No one should be able to enter anything here. Okay, this I can do. I can do it to any field. Okay, I can do any field like I told non-editable now. I can do any field as required, means mandatory. So I'll do suppose storage location as a mandatory field. So no one can skip it. Now if you don't enter, you cannot save. Okay. So these kind of field selection or field settings we can do. Okay. Apart from that, when I select a particular document type, we can assign a specific number into it. How does that work? Suppose I have service. Okay, this is service ZRSR. So I will have this number range. So my purchase requisition, my first purchase requisition, which will be created, will be 14 5 times 01. Then I create another purchase requisition, or whoever in the company is creating a service purchase requisition, it will be 14 5 times 02. Then next day someone is creating 14 5 times 3, like this. It will be in sequence till this number. Right. So this is called as numbering. Now, if I select some different document type, not this, okay, and I select NB, okay. So NB may have different field selection where your storage location. Now see here, it has been non-editable. And if I go here, okay, let it be. So I can do the changes with the document type for all of the fields. So NB, it may happen that this field is non-editable, and in Z004 it may happen that this is optional. These things. Then now we saw, like we assumed that Z004 will have a number range of 14 5 times 01, and for NB we can keep a separate number range which will be suppose 11 5 times 01. Okay, so here these things are used to identify the purchase requisition. Okay. So whenever a purchaser will go and check if a purchaser is assigned, like you, like suppose um, Abhijit is a purchaser. So I've told Abhijit that you will look after only service procurement. So what he will do, he will consider, or he will see whichever PO is raised in the system, whether it starts with 14. If it starts with 14, it is a service purchase requisition. So he will start working on it. If he sees a purchase requisition starting with 11, he will say, okay, it's a regular purchase requisition. It is not a service. I'll not get into it. Okay. So these two major things are dependent with the document type. And the third thing is, whenever you go in any report for purchase requisition, you will be easily, you can enter your document type there in the beginning of the report. Okay, suppose I'll take you to ME5A. ME5A is a purchase requisition report. So if you can see here, here we have document type. So I can directly enter NB. Okay, so see, I have this purchase requisition, NB purchase requisition. I select this and I execute. So what is happening after execution is I get all the purchase requisition with NB only. Okay. So when a purchaser wants to see what, if suppose Abhijit is working as we discussed on services. So what Abhijit will do, Abhijit will enter Z002 because he or whatever is the document type, because he don't want to see any other purchase requisition because that are not related to him. So he will only enter his document type and he will start working on it. Okay, start analyzing it. So any doubt till here? Many things, it not many, but few things can go above your head. No problem. Okay. You just yeah. Hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Yes, yes, yes. Suppose this field. Yeah. Yeah, we cannot edit. Usually it will happen for short text. Why? Because material has some like you are writing, suppose LP003. This is a material code, and you are writing a description as Lenovo laptop 12 GB 115 GB RAM. This is the description. Okay, so that description will come here when you enter the material. So now you don't want someone to edit the description. No, no, no. I have not seen it will not be visible. I've seen it will, I've said it will not be editable. You can see it, you cannot edit it. Okay. So anything, it can, yeah, it is your choice for NB what fields you want to keep mandatory or non-editable. That will be one. If you make this, okay, if you make this non-editable short text, okay. In service, you don't want to make it non-editable. So no problem. The settings are, yeah, the settings are different for NB and different for Z004. Okay. Yes, yes. You're right. As a consultant, it is not our choice. Okay. As a consultant, right. You're absolutely right. Okay. Yes. Anyone else? Abhijit Raja. Yes. I'm not able to hear you. Usually, yeah. Yes. Usually, what we do is we usually copy the standard what SAP has provided and then create our new copying that and then we make the changes. Okay. If we create ourselves a new one, there is no problem. But in the background, we may have to do some more configurations. Copying is like when we copy, it copies the link configurations automatically. Okay. And if you create a new, then you have to do background configurations also. Okay. This thing. So, yeah. Yes. Okay. So basically now what is my sorry what you are asking? This is see like you are learning. Okay. So maybe someone who is doing a practice. Okay. He is creating his own things here. Okay. So yeah, so now this Z004, if you go in any other system, you will not find this. Okay, you will only find NB or FO. Okay, then UB. UB is not here. Okay, you will find NB, FO. These things you will find in other system because this is SAP standard. But the other things, what you can see, this Z, SBB, this is something someone like us. Okay, someone who is doing a practice, he has created this. So now we follow a practice. When we create something new, we keep the first character Z. Okay, like this. Now the people who are practicing, maybe they don't know, okay, what industry is following. So they are creating like this SBB, okay, or they are just randomly doing anything in the system. So going forward, we need to understand other than standard, many things may look like standard because there is no Z, but they are not standard. Okay. So I'll be guiding you which is standard. Okay. So my intention for now, while you are learning this, what I'm giving you, okay, suppose I'm giving you 100%. So you should understand 60%, okay, and you should hear 40%. Understand is okay, I understood this. Hearing means I really don't understand, but okay, something like this. Okay. So what is that? Like I've told you NB and Z004. So there are two major differences. The field, okay, the field parameters, how it will be, and the number range. Now this you can understand. How to do it? Okay, that is a different part that we are going to come later on. So when we come to that point, you will understand all the things in more detail. So you have to keep the patience till that time for this. But whatever I told you, understand only that much right now. Okay. So in coming session, we'll be completing the purchase requisition creation. Okay. And then I'll give you a homework and you have to create purchase requisitions in the system. Okay. Okay. So system, you'll get it tomorrow, and day after tomorrow when we will have session. So we will be covering the purchase requisition part. Okay. The just a minute. Here is the purchase requisition creation, the reports with respect to purchase requisition, and Fury report with respect to purchase requisition. And the creation is both the places. One is in GUI this, and this is Fury. So we will learn to create in GUI. What is GUI? This screen. Fury, the another platform. We have gone through it. We'll again go through it. So this is Fury. Okay, and this is GUI. And then we'll go to the GUI reports. Then we'll go through the Fury reports. Okay. So this will be our target for our next session. Okay. Yes. PDF I have already sent you on the this. Yes, as I told in the beginning, before next session, I'll make some arrangements so that you can access this. Okay. Yeah. So all things will be in place before next session. Okay, your access to SAP and your access to this portal. Okay. So also I will upload this session right after this session. Okay. Right now. Okay. So any query till here? Okay.